Hey guys, and welcome to FaithWorks Designs. I'm Faith, and today we're going to be making something really cool. We are kind of in the stage of life where you don't necessarily need like a whole diaper bag, and we're not all really going out all that much right now. So when you do go out, sometimes we forget to bring a diaper with us, or we forget to bring wipes or whatever. So one of my YouTube followers asked me if I can make a wipe holder like I made on the diaper bag. Now, you know me, I can't just make something simple. I've got to make something crazy, because that's me. So I was thinking about it, and I came up with this design. I wanted something kind of sassy, kind of mom looking on the outside, and I've been making a lot of purses lately, so it's been on the brain. But on the inside, it's going to be super practical. So we're going to pop our magnetic closure. And so what I've got here is there is a place to put your wipes down at the bottom. No brand names, sorry. The next spot, if you open it up, there's a place for you to either put diapers, or you can put bags if you need to throw your diapers away. Or if you're using cloth, you could also put your cloth diapers in here. You'd probably only be able to get like maybe one or two in there. If you use cloth, we did, and they're chunky. So anyway, you can pack all of this up in this cute, stylish little bag. So let's get this sassy wristlet started. Hold on! Before we get started, I just wanted to mention, and I forgot to mention, that Dazzle Custom Fabrics is where I got this really cool Lego print from. They have asked me to be a rep for them, and they've given me the coupon code FaithWorks10. You just use that at checkout and it'll give you 10% off of your order. Now let's get started. Alright, so I have cut out two of my wet wipe, the fronts of the wet wipe. I've marked where the little wet wipe box face is going to go. And then I've cut out my other one without making any marks. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right sides together. And then I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and sew on the line that I've drawn for you on your pattern. Alright, now that we have sewn around our outline, what we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors. We're going to cut 1/4 inch around that circle. Now what you're going to do is around the round parts, you're going to take your scissors and you're to cut little notches on the round part so that when we turn it inside out, it'll lay nice and flat. Now what you're going to do is take the top fabric and push it inside of that bottom fabric until it lays flat. Then take this to the iron and make sure that you get it all nice and flat, and then we're going to top stitch it. Alright, so I've got it all top stitched. The next thing that I did was I grabbed a 2" by 10" strip of the same fabric, or you could use contrasting fabric just so that it kind of stands out a little bit more. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to iron it in half all the way down, and then you're going to iron it in on itself so that you're making a bias tape to put at the very top. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clip this on to the very top of the wet wipe compartment, and then I'm going to sew all the way down so that you don't see that seam. Alright, so we have got our trim on the top, and I went ahead and just put 2 stitches going all the way along just to make it look a little nicer. You can also use like a contrasting fabric just to make it kind of stand out a little more. So now I have got the back of our wet wipe pouch. I've got that laid out, and what you're going to do is you're going to line it up with the very bottom. So you're going to have a little sticking up here at the top, and the next thing you're going to do is you're going to clip down the sides and around the bottom. We're just going to do a basting stitch from here all the way around and then stop where your binding is. You don't have to baste up to here because there's nothing up there. Alright, so now what you've got essentially is a pocket. What I did was, base stitching is just stitching something in place so it kind of just stays there and stays together so that the front and the back are all together. Basically that is your pocket all done to put your wet wipe pod in, or your wet wipes in. Now the next thing we're going to be doing is the zipper part that's to the top of this. Okay, something I forgot to tell you guys is make sure that you put interfacing on the back of your wet wipe pod. It just makes it a little stiffer and a little easier to work with. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to grab your zipper pouch. I've got the outside, I've got the interfacing on that, and then I've picked out a fun zipper, and then I've got my lining. I just figured I'd go ahead and make it blue so we can have a little contrasting color. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your outside fabric and put the right side of your zipper down on that, and it's going to go all the way across your piece of fabric. Now you can go ahead and base stitch your zipper on before you go ahead and sew, but you guys know I don't like basting stuff. So I'm going to take my lining fabric, right sides together. I'm using solid fabric so it doesn't really matter, and then you're just going to clip that all together. Go ahead and sew across the top. Now that I've got that sewn across the top, you're going to take the lining and flip it over. And then you're going to smooth down the back side and the top side down. And then you're just going to top stitch straight across there. Alright, so now we've got our two units. We've got our wet wipe pod and we've got our diaper holder. So the next thing that we're going to do is, with the right side up with the zipper, the right side of the fabric facing up, we're going to take our wet wipe pod, and I know it's hard to tell because it's not two different fabrics, and I guess I should have thought of that. But anyway, I'm going to take this top that's open here, this top, and lay it right here, and then I'm going to flip it over so that right sides are together. And I'm going to sew this down, open it up, and press it. Alright, so I have grabbed the very back panel. And what I'm going to do to add the little detail at the top is I'm going to turn it over so that I see the back side. You should have interfaced this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my back panel top lid, and I'm going to lay it right at the edge of my material, and then I'm going to mark, and then you can use this or the template to do your outside fabric as well. So now we have got our back piece with the top all cut out. Now I've grabbed our two units that we sewed together and I've put that down, and then I grabbed another 2" by 10 inches strip. I did exactly like I did with the top of this one, and just to make it binding. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip it on top of where that zipper is. And right now what I would do is I would clip all the way around here so none of this is shifting around while you're trying to do this. Go ahead and clip all the way around, and then you can just sew right across here to keep the binding on and to sew down your zipper. Alright, so my bobbin was being a butt. So anyway, I had to stop. I went ahead and I did all the way around and then came back over and went ahead and did a second top stitch on this. It looks kind of nice and fancy that way. So now you've got your zipper pouch for your diapers. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to find the midpoint on this. So that how you're going to do that is you're going to put this together like this, and then right there you're going to make a little clip in your seam allowance. You're just taking a teensy tiny bit off so that you have a little tiny a little tiny V there so you know where the middle is. Now on the interfacing side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a measuring tool and I'm going to measure up 1 inch. So we're just going to put a dot right there. I have got it right where that dot was that I put the 1 inch. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pen, and you're going to open your pen up. I'm going to make those little marks right here so that I know where these little prongs are going to go. So grab your seam ripper. We're going to move this out of the way, and then we're going to take it, poke it through, and just a tiny bit. Be careful that it doesn't keep rolling on you. You're going to open both of those up. Okay, now once you have that done, you can grab this one and find it on the front. So it's on the front of your lining. Now on the back you can see the prongs. What I would do is, if you have any interfacing or anything like that, I would grab it and do the same exact thing so that you can just plop it on there. So just like you do with the other fabric, make your holes and then poke that on there. Once you get that on there, grab your other little piece and then put that down, and then you're just going to take these prongs and you're going to push them down just like that, and make sure they're as flat as you can get them. And that's one down. So I grabbed a strip that was 2 inches by 3 inches, and I did what I'm going to show you now. This is for the D-ring, and then this is for your actual wrist strap. So what I did was I put my 4 inches this way, and then I marked it midpoint. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these in to that midpoint, just like you would do for bias tape, and then fold it up and clip it just like that. We're going to grab some hardware. Alright, so I've got our hardware. We're going to have a 1 inch or 25 millimeter swivel snap hook, and then ideally you would want a 1 inch D-ring, but I got a 3/4 inch, and we're just going to make that roll. Now after you've got this all clipped up, you're going to take your D-ring and you're going to, or your D-ring, your swivel hook, and you're going to slide that on there. And you're going to open that up, move those clips, and put it kind of in the middle. Now you're going to take those clips that are towards the end, okay, and open this up. This is going to be kind of weird, but you'll figure it out eventually. So put right sides of your cork or vinyl or whatever you're using together, just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sew across here so that it becomes one big circle. Alright, so we're going to grab our strap and we're just going to start sewing across. After you've got that, you try really hard to get this to lay flat and then fold it back down the way that it was. So we're going to have that folded towards the middle, that folded towards the middle, and then back together, so that you see now we have this big circle, and there's not going to be any seams that we're going to have to mess with the raw ends or anything like that. We're just going to have one big circle. Alright, so now this is going to get kind of tricky. You're going to have to move these clips as you sew and move this around. Alright, so we've got our strap all done. The next thing that I'm going to do is you need to close that little clasp in place. Now, what you can simply do is you can sew across there and call it a day. I got my cam snap for Christmas and I love it so much. And snaps just give it a little extra something. So I always, when I can, use my snap press. If you don't have one, again, it's completely cool. You don't have to have a snap press, but they really do make things look really, really nice. Alright, so I've changed the die out on the machine. Or the press, I guess I should say. And now I've got to get stuff together here. And then you just press. You'll have your cute little die and it'll look really nice on there. Alright, so we're almost done. So what I've done is I've got my D-ring here. I went ahead and put it on our little 2x3 inch piece. It is going to be thick using cork, so you're going to have to sew really slow over top of this. And what I'm just going to do is I'm going to put it right here. You can put it probably about 1.5 inches down from the zipper. That way it's kind of in the middle of the purse or the wallet when you've got it folded up. And what you can do is you can just stay stitch that down or base stitch it down. And then we're going to grab our outside fabric. Now I'm going to try cork. I don't know how it's going to handle being turned inside out, but we will see. So you're going to start at the bottom where there's no cutouts, you know, at the top. You've got that little shape to it. We're going to take the bottom and we're going to find the middle. Just like we did on the lining. You're going to take your scissors and you're just going to clip a little teeny tiny snip so that you know right where the middle is. And then we're going to grab our ruler and we're going to put our ruler right there where the middle piece is. And then we're going to mark 2.5 inches up. We're just going to put a little dot there. Then we're going to grab the other half of our snap and the little metal link there. And we're going to go on each side just like we did on the lining piece. We're going to do it on the outside piece. So I need my seam ripper. Alright, now from the outside we're going to put our other piece, if we can find the slots, because again I need to put my glasses on. Okay, so we've got our prongs up like that, and just like we did on the other one. This one I'm not going to put any interfacing on. I think it'll be fine. So you put your other metal piece there, and we're going to put the prongs down just like that. That should be on your front. So your right side is up, right side is down. So leave yourself a hole, and then you're just going to sew all the way around, and make sure that you back stitch when you're starting and stopping on this side. Alright, now that we've got it all sewn, we're going to have to turn it inside out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip these bottom straight edges, just like that, so that when you turn it inside out, it'll lay a lot flatter. Now on the round parts, what you're going to need to do is grab yourself some snips or some really sharp pairs of scissors, and you're just going to make snips all the way around where there's round parts, where it curves in and out like that. And that way also when you turn it inside out, it'll lay nice and flat. Alright guys, so I got it all turned in, outside, inside out, all that good jazz. Went ahead and I clipped all the way around to get it nice and flat. You're going to have your hole right here. We're just going to do a top stitch all the way around to close that up. So let's do it. All right, so we're all done. Let's grab our wet wipes, get them in place, and then I've got a diaper. Now you just roll it up like so, and you are on the go. Alright guys, so what did you think? I thought it was pretty easy as far as construction goes. I tried to make it as simple as possible because I was creating the pattern as I was making it, and I was just thinking to myself, if I was new to sewing, how can I make it so that it was really, really easy? If you'd like to purchase the pattern, the link is down below. The only thing I think I would change after going through and getting it all done, this was a tester for me, so the next thing that I think I would do, just to make it feel like these flaps would close a little better, is that I would put a magnetic clasp here and here, just so that it felt like it was closed better. I mean, it's fine the way it is. It stays closed. But I just think it would be a little better if we put the magnetic steps kind of like right there on the sides. To each its own. You might like it the way that it is. It's up to you. I mean, it's totally versatile. You could add another, I was thinking about it after the fact, I could have added a little zipper on the back for like bags and stuff. So if you know how to put in zippers, you could simply take the pattern and put a little zipper right here in the back. And that would be a really cool, fun thing to add to the back. My oldest is 18, but I haven't made, there was like a little 8-year gap where I didn't have to have a diaper bag. But anyway, I've been carrying around a diaper bag for 7 years. So we're finally at that point where we just need a diaper just in case. So I wanted something that looked kind of sassy and something that would go along with my other purse that I have. So I can just slip this in here, which is really nice because it's pretty compact. So it goes into my purse really nicely. So if I need to just take it out just to go to church or whatever, I don't need my purse with me. I can take it out and then take it with me, or I can keep it in my purse. You know us moms, we've got all kinds of crap in our purse. Anyway, if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe and hang around, you click that subscribe button and YouTube will let you know when I've next uploaded. Or if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section down below. And don't forget to use your 10% off coupon code for Dazzle Custom Fabrics. Coupon code, I'll try and put it right here, is FaithWorks10. And get yourself 10% off your next order. I just want to thank Dazzle for asking me to rep for them and being able to give you guys a coupon code for some fabric. And thanks for joining us here on FaithWorks Designs. Bye guys.